I really like and I really enjoy working with characters or states, emotional states. I make my own work. I've been making my own work since 2013. I trained as a dancer originally, so I worked as a dancer for around 7 to 8 years before I sort of like really focused on making my own work. So in 2013 I was living in Kassel in Germany. That's where I started making little pieces, and then my first funded piece was Love Me Tender.
Quanto è bello lo primo amore, lo secondo è più bella ancora.
It was inspired by Arthur Schopenhauer, the German philosopher. He says that love is a trick. Love doesn't really exist. It's a cultural construction for our species to just reproduce. So it softens things out, let's say. And I guess I just wanted to explore our desperate need for love, and Love Me Tender. That's a beautiful song, and it just, for me, sums it up. And since then, I made my first full-length piece, Toys, which opened in 2017 in Luxembourg at the Bananenfabrik and at the Place in London. The piece was about the research for pleasure and how pleasure is a trick for us to forget we're dying at some point. So, of course, pleasure also involved joys. There's a playfulness in our life, like we constantly seek for things, seek for accessories. So toys somehow just appeared as a very simple word, and at the same time could relate to it. And I'm currently working on my second full-length piece, which is called The Ephemeral Life of an Octopus. Well, that piece will be about the weirdness of having a body. So the ephemeral life, because all of our lives are ephemeral, so somehow the octopus was like, came to me. And it's also a strange creature that is so clever, and it's a little bit disgusting as well. So it sort of linked all the themes I wanted to explore in the piece. A lot of the time I'm super inspired by either a philosophical concept or a reading, but often it's pop culture. How do we sort of like, how those two worlds collide? So how can we have a very philosophical concept, and how can we sort of embody it in a very popular, funny, grotesque way? So how do we sort of like, where does that friction happen? I'm really interested in the dichotomy, like between dissonant and graceful. Where do movements start to become pretty or ugly? What does it say about our human condition? What does it say about us as human as well? And pop culture, which I just love it when you go to the theater and you can relate to a song or simply to a situation, and just it's so universal, it's so known that everyone has its own memory of it. I realize that the way I work is motion before emotion. We improvise a lot for dancers to really feel and really explore their emotions and theatrical situations. So I'm really interested in the sort of, emotional journey of a piece and the emotional journey that the dancers are going to go through within a piece.